Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode of the Bench Banter podcast. I know, you guys must be wondering, Bench Banter podcast, where have we been? We've been MIA for a long time now. But okay, we are back again. I know I've said this before, but we are back again. And it's a good day to actually start this because we have two insane finals coming up tonight. And joining me on the bench is none other than Ashwin.
Hi guys, how are you guys doing? It's been a while, but we're glad to be back. And I'm sure we're gonna have a lot of fun this time.
Yeah, I sure hope so. There are like two giant fixtures. We'll go into each particular tournament, but since we haven't covered both of these tournaments in detail, let's just talk a bit about each one of them. So how has this Euros been for you?
I mean, it's been okay. I just feel like usually when you go into a big tournament like this, you're expecting the heavyweights to perform, right? And I just feel like a lot of the heavyweights this time disappointed a little. I think Spain, clear favorites. They're the only ones who played like favorites. The rest of them kind of wobbly. I don't know. For me at least, I just didn't feel that invested in the tournament as such. Maybe I don't know. It's just like a hangover of so much, interesting football this whole season, and there was the cricket World Cup and everything. Like there was like an overload of sports, and maybe because of that. But overall, yeah, I mean, I think the two teams that have reached the finals have. I mean, one team has done it the hard way, and the other team has done it the boring way. But they're here now, and I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful final to watch for sure. No doubt about it. At the beginning of the tournament, if you had told me, the final would be Spain versus England, I would be like, yeah, okay, that's expected. But the way that both the teams have got there have been different. But it'll be interesting. It'll definitely be an interesting watch, and with the whole media sensation around England and everything, it's going to be fun. I mean, I'm hoping Spain win, but it's going to be fun to see if England do take it home. How the footballing world and the world in general would react to it.
Yeah, of course you're supporting Spain. I mean, it's very
Yeah, I
obvious.
mean it's in me, but yeah, I mean they've played some really good football, right? Like, and if you say if football was a fair sport where only the best team playing the best game would win, you would probably say Spain. But
Yeah,
football is a funny game; you
exactly.
can never be too sure. So it'll be interesting to watch. But just if I've not watched any game and I just know like the players and just how they've played, I would probably say Spain. But
Hmm.
let's see how it goes. What about you? You've
Yeah,
been following all the games or what?
yeah. I've been following Euros. The timing has been matching with my schedule, so it's not been a big
Right.
issue. Unlike Copa, we'll get into
Yeah.
that. But Euros has been pretty lackluster. Expected a lot from this tournament because of the names, right? Because you've been following them for years now. And to be honest, there were no really standouts this year for me in Euros. I mean, the expected people, some of them performed, some of them didn't. Uh, when it comes to teams, I really thought Switzerland were good. I thought they were a very, very solid team. Okay, it was very unlucky that they lost to England, but there again, it comes to those fine moments. England just happened. They just, be the fact that they're a strong team, but they haven't been playing well. Be that as it may, they've still managed. They've done the bare minimum of ending on easy half of the easy half of the group.
Of the group,
They
yeah.
had they were the clear cut favorites to reach the finals, and we beat 6-0 victories or penalty victories. They've managed to
Right.
get there. Like you said, the manner in which they got there hasn't been ideal because you have the likes of Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden, Bukayo
Yeah.
Saka, Harry Kane. They should ideally be destroying their opponents, but that's not been the case. And I feel Germany were very unlucky in the fact that they drew Spain, because that's like
Right.
how City Madrid played in Champions League
Yeah, I mean
quarters.
everyone was saying like the way the tournament started, everyone were expecting a Spain Germany final, but they both ended up on the same side of the draw, and that's just how the rub of the way goes. Sometimes teams get lucky. In this case, England. But
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
But that hope is there again, as someone who's been watching EPL. I'm not an England fan, all right? I'm not. But now that it's come to England versus Spain, I mean, I'm obviously on England's side.
Yeah.
And it's all those chants about it's coming home, and everyone's just so joyous and everyone's so excited for tonight. You can't help but also feel like a part of it, even if I have nothing to do with England. I just feel like I would be very happy with this victory. Like it's a part of me winning. Like probably because Saka and Rice are there. but
Hmm.
also because these guys deserve it. I know they haven't been playing great football this tournament, but individually these players are all very skilled and they deserve something. They need something to show for it. Now, coming up against a team like Spain, and Spain have been solid and they've been so good. They defeated Germany and they deserve to be in
Right.
the finals. And Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams have been so good. Lamine Yamal,
Say the
oh
name.
my
Say the name again.
god. It's
Say the name
absolutely
again.
yeah,
You know
but
the the crazy part is like just to like put his age into perspective. Like he's already such a big superstar, right?
yeah,
So I was just seeing all these posts that put his age into perspective and everything. So he turned 17 yesterday,
yeah,
and for the next like for 2000 I something like 2042 or 2044, the you basically the World Cup that's 5 World Cups away, he would still be like 36, like which is like a decent age for a final World Cup to happen.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm just like in awe of that guy, and he's on the precipice of superstardom. Of course,
Exactly.
eh, there have been many talents that have come this way, but again, talent is just not enough. Like you need a lot of luck, you need a lot of things to go your way,
Yeah,
your injuries and your overall just the way you play. It takes a lot to like stay reach the top and stay at the top. But I mean, he's shown up so many superstars this World Cup. Like I mean, he was superb against Germany. He was, I mean, in the battle against Mbappe. Like I mean, not directly against him, but Mbappe versus Yamal, the whole Spain versus France thing. He was absolutely brilliant. That goal was just out of the top drawer, and to just think he's only 17. And if Olmo, for example, doesn't score too many goals or like is not going to completely take over the final, you'd probably say Yamal is the player of the tournament as well. So
mm.
at 17 years old, you're winning international trophies and being a part of the, I mean, the major part of the victory. It's like a special feeling.
It is,
And
yeah.
also, I was reading one thing that in Germany, right? So under 18 individuals are not allowed to work past 11 p.m. And if the final goes past extra time,
Yeah.
technically Yamal is not allowed to play in extra time because it goes past 11 p.m. So
Okay.
supposedly, according to German laws, that is, so if it goes into extra time or if he's still playing past 11 p.m., then Spain will be fined some 30K or 40K euros. That's what I read somewhere. So I
Okay.
mean, these snippets just put into perspective like the things that we're seeing from such a young
Yeah,
talent. He's
yeah, yeah.
he's 16, 17. He's doing his homework in the middle of games, and on game nights he's showing up and taking and leading his country. So it's a good thing. I mean, it's a special feeling. But yeah, just stemming from that, so both of us agree that the Euros have been quite lackluster. So why do you think that is, and why do you think the stars that were expected to shine, say Bellingham? I mean, Bellingham did get a goal and all, but he's honestly been invisible for throughout like 90 minutes, 89 minutes. So Mbappe was complete dud. The entire Portuguese team, for example, didn't perform to the expectations that they had. So why do you think that is? Like, what do you think are the factors that contributed to such a lackluster Euros?
I think one reason is because these lot don't play a lot of football with each other, right? So unlike how cricket works, in cricket it's you travel with your national team the entire time and you have your cup or your league probably for a couple of months in a year, right?
Right,
Here it's club football that dominates majority of the year. So when you're playing with your club teammates, you happen to have that chemistry and your coach, so you have a particular playing style. You see with players like Kyle Walker, with John Stones, Phil Foden, I felt like they were completely out of place because they didn't know how to play in a non-Pep system. Like they're
right,
so used to Pep Guardiola, like they don't know how to play when they're out of that particular system. And when you look at a team like Portugal again, so I'm not a big fan of Roberto Martinez. Okay, I don't think he's a great manager, but I mean it was very obvious coming from a Ronaldo fan, that is okay, that I felt he just wanted to keep Ronaldo happy and not get into too much drama, unlike Fernando Santos, right? Ronaldo had to play. This is probably his last tournament, so let him play every tournament. Let him play all the time. We'll just, try to do something else with the
that
rest
was
of the
my
team.
follow-up question. Yeah, but okay, yeah, finish
Yeah,
it
so
off and then I'll
yeah, that is definitely not going to work. It is so obvious. See, Portugal have such a good team, man. Like on paper, that's such a solid team, right? But again, so Bernardo was completely out of place because it's a non-Pep system. You had Ronaldo who was making a lot of mistakes. Okay, he did decent. I as okay, probably this is coming from a very biased place, but if you look at his stats, there are no goals to show for it and all. But I think he
Very biased place, but okay.
if there was another striker in his place, definitely they would have done much better. I agree, but Ronaldo didn't perform as bad as I thought he would have. Okay, we're talking about players like Mbappe and all. I just feel they're not used to playing that system for a long period of time. So they come there, practice for a few weeks, and then they're on field, just doing their own thing. And obviously, it's not going to be the same atmosphere that they're playing their club football in, right? It also has a lot to do with the teammates, the team chemistry, and also the coach. But these are kind of like more or less the points that I felt were the reasons why this time it was a very lackluster performance or whatever. I didn't. If you look at Switzerland, they had a lot of players from Bologna. Okay, a lot of players from Bologna, and it showed the fact that they had a system in play, and their manager was also very good. Like the way they approach games was brilliant. You didn't have a lot of stars there, right? Like the only big player big player probably is Granit Xhaka over there, and probably Shehdan Shaqiri, the ones who other people might know of. But they worked really well. They played like a proper football team. Another team was Austria. I think Rangnick did a very good job with Austria. They were very good. But apart from that, the other teams, there was no chemistry. There was nothing happening. But that's where I think Spain did a really good job. You
Yeah.
know, yeah. So you now same question to you. I want to know what your thoughts about.
Yeah, no, I think I completely agree, but I feel like the teams that end up doing well are the teams that, regardless of where they're playing, right? Yeah, of course, the club football does factor into play, but if you look at it, like, when you see a playing nation, a team playing together, you kind of identify as to a particular style that they play. Like Spain for years have cultivated that passing game, that
Yeah.
technical style of play, that la pausa, like pause the game, slow it down, play your slow passes, play your horizontal passes. They've played that way. So regardless of whichever club they're playing in, when they come into Spain, basically the Spanish players are built on a particular set of footballing, what do you call, rules, or whatever you want to call it, right? And I feel that is very important, because I feel that gives the nation an identity, even if you're not playing together for a long time. Because if you see, you can say the same thing to any club, any country that wins the World Cup, wins the tournament or wins World Cups, right? France in 2022, or I mean 2023 was superb, till the final. 2022, sorry, even 2018 World Cup, they were absolutely superb. Like, they were unstoppable. And these guys are not. It's not like they were playing together for a long time. And even now, if you look at it, the core of the players are the same only. You still have your
Mm.
Mbappe, Griezmann, Kante. You still have that same old Upamecano. I don't know why Deschamps trusts that guy so much. He's such a bad defender. He's a walking error. I don't know what he brings. But anyway, so all the core players are still there. But the playing style, the playing identity, right, is when you say France, like, what do you see them play as? Like, if you say Spain, you have a clear mental image that they're going to play
Mm.
this particular way.
Mm.
And same 4 years ago, Italy was the same. Italy have that, stout defensive structure, winning
Yeah.
games 1-0, like holding the ball,
Yeah.
playing without the ball, playing off the ball. They know they work hard. So you have playing styles, right? So I just feel like nations that have cultivated that for a long period, I think those nations are the ones that are usually, and Germany, till 2014, 2015, they had the core players, the same
Yeah.
players, and also they had that particular playing style, distinctive passing style. They had that direct passing, Götze, Muller, Schürrle, in 2014, how they played. So now they've moved away from that. They don't have a particular identity. They have the passers, they have the finishers. It's just a mismatch of, like, it's like you said, like what Portugal done. They've like
Yeah.
put all the stars together and like, go play, prove
Yeah.
your individual quality.
Yeah.
That's not how it works, right? So I just feel, like you said, just elaborating on that point, I just feel like if you have a playing style, a playing structure, then players will complement it, players will fit into it. And I think it goes to show the manager, the skills of the manager as well,
Yeah.
to identify the players and fit them into that particular playing style. Like Martinez, he just gave it into the players. He said, okay, fine, these are the 11 biggest stars that I have, you guys go out and play. Spain didn't do that. Like, technically, you don't see a 16-year-old starting every day. You don't see Nico Williams starting every day, right? you nobody knew who Robin Lenormand was if you didn't watch La Liga, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So so you have to have the guts to say, you know what, these players fit my style, rather than
Mm,
saying, let me put 11 amazing Spanish players out there.
mm,
Even in the heyday of Spanish football, when they were winning everything back in the year 2008, 2012, that period, they never had a striker, right? But
right.
they played that false nine. They played Silva, Iniesta, Xavi, Fabric. They packed the midfield and they said, you know what, this is the playing style. You guys go figuring it out. You might not be the 11 best players. Jesus Navas is not part of the best 11 players that Spain have to offer, but he's there for a reason. Carvajal is not the best right back that Spain have, but he's there, right? So I just feel like you have to fit the players into the puzzle. Okay, if it's some, one unbelievable player like Ronaldo in his heyday or Messi in his heyday, okay, fine, you can structure the team around that player. Be like, okay, fine, you know what? Regardless of how you play, I'll have you there because you're a difference maker.
Mm,
But apart from that, if you have 11 players, who there's no clear star, there's no clear, okay, this guy is the one who's going to lead this nation to glory. You need the players to fit the team rather than the team fitting the players, right? So I
yeah,
just
yeah.
feel like the teams that have done that are the teams that have, progressed long and will progress much further in the Euros, as well as, like, any other tournament, for example, even in the Copa, right?
Yeah.
Brazil, oh,
Yeah,
coming to
exactly. I
the
was just going to
Copa.
come to that. Yeah.
Yeah, coming to the Copa, I mean, the Copa also has been quite lackluster, and it's gone along the same lines. To be very honest, the teams have
Mm,
been very, and the style of play in South America is completely different. So it's more defense oriented. It's
right.
very difficult to like just score goals. They play a lot of physical football. So it's
Yeah.
it's not very easy to like just win by 3 goals, win by 4 goals. And I just feel like in Euros, at least, there's that freedom because teams play a certain way. In Copa, there's not, you cannot have players playing for themselves. Like, you need players who fit the system. And that's why Colombia are in the finals, right? They're unbeaten in 28, 29 matches.
Mm-hmm.
James Rodriguez has come back to form, 6 assists, 7 assists in the tournament. Uh, they're playing superbly. That's because they have made the 11 players to fit that particular style. If you look at
Right.
Brazil, they got knocked out. They won only 2 games.
Yeah.
And if you were to see the Brazil team sheet, you would be like, okay, apart from, if you take out Argentina, who would you see, at the top?
Brazil,
You see
Brazil.
Brazil,
Yeah, yeah, for
right?
sure.
Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo, Enrique. But it doesn't work like that, right? You can't just put everyone on the field and be like, okay, go play. So I mean,
Exactly.
that's what Brazil did, and that's what many teams in Euros and, for example, Copa did. But again, Copa is not as famous, so you people might not watch it as much and understand
Yeah.
why that is. But overall, I feel like the teams that are here deserve to be here.
Mm.
Probably England, I would say maybe not, but hey, they're here now. They've won their games, and you cannot take away from the fact that at the end of the day, they pulled it when it matters the most, and the other
Yeah.
teams didn't. Simple as that.
Correct.
So if you just were to base it solely of saying, okay, the best two teams of the tournament have to come to the final, then England are maybe not the best team to come there,
Yeah.
but they're here now. And if they win tonight, it's like nobody cares how they got there, right? I don't care if I'm drawing every game and winning on penalties if I'm playing in the Euro.
Exactly.
Nobody,
Exactly.
nobody remembers 4 years from now, 10 years from now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, 4 years ago they were in the same situation, so let's see if they've gained any, experience from that.
Yeah.
It's going to be a completely different ball game because Italy in 4 years ago they let England have the ball. They just sat back. And if you've noticed this season, I mean this Euros, England have lacked ideas massively. They've just
Yeah.
passed and passed. Nothing. They've done nothing. I've gone to sleep watching England games.
Same,
I'm pretty
same.
sure hardcore England fans have also gone to sleep watching
Yeah,
England
yeah,
games.
for sure.
So that's why it probably, I mean, of course they got it to penalties and everything, but that's why it didn't work out against Italy. Spain are not like that. Spain will play their game. They will
Mm.
force you to play the way they want to play. They will not sit back and let you play, okay, just pass around. So then England will have their chances for sure. So it's not going to be one of the, I don't expect England to like, bore Spain into submission because it's not going to be possible. Spain are going to be the ones, who are going to have much more of the ball and have going to be more creative. And England will definitely have their chances. So I'm just seeing like, will the big stars of England come to the party today? Because it's now or never for them. I mean, this
Exactly.
I mean, they have a very young team, and I'm sure 4 years later also they'll have the same core. But this is like it. Like this is the peak. Like this is what I feel is after this. Probably Kane is going to start declining. You have a few midfield stars who might not be the same level going
Hmm.
forward. The defense, Walker for sure will not be at the same level. So there will be instances where I feel like this is the final shot for them. I mean, not final shot, but one of the biggest shots that they've had at this trophy.
Hmm.
Because 4 years ago they were a very young team with zero experience. So they fluffed their lives with the penalties, and they were just a little shaky because they'd never been to that stage before.
Hmm.
And I think even in the 2022 World Cup, they managed to give a good account of themselves. Again, they missed the penalty, and they went out, but they had their chances then as well. So I'm hoping that they've learned from the experiences, and they'll come out fighting. Of course, I want Spain to win, but I'm hoping that it'll be a good game at least. I just don't want to see another 0-0. I mean, even if it's a 0-0, it should be some end-to-end stuff where goalkeepers have called into action. Something is happening because when you see the stars on the pitch, right, you expect something to happen. If it was some Georgia Turkey game, I wouldn't mind watching the 0-0 because that's what you expect from that hardcore defensive football. That is also enjoyable to me.
Yeah,
But if
yeah.
you're seeing a particular team, you expect some stars to like play a particular way, right? So it's going to be fun, it's going to be interesting, but big day for, I mean, both the tournaments, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with the fact that this is probably England's best shot at winning a major trophy. Even for Southgate, because Southgate's been there since I can remember, and he's had nothing to show for it. And he's some again, it's all just falling into place for them. Somehow they've managed to reach the finals. Now, you've always said this, right? When you reach the finals, it's always 50-50. It could go either way. None of the previous matches matter. None of that
Absolutely.
matters. So if they are lucky, I feel if England need to win today, they need to be lucky. Spain just playing with themselves, I feel they will win. But I need England need a lot more than game. They need some luck in order to win against Spain tonight.
Yeah,
And
for
yeah,
sure, for sure.
I just hope, like you said, it's fun to watch as a fan. Like I remember France versus Argentina, where I wasn't too keen on either teams, but I
Right.
just supported because not
Obviously.
Argentina, not
not
Argentina.
not France. You supported France because not Argentina. If it was, I
Yeah.
don't know, if it was Bangladesh or Argentina, you'd probably support Bangladesh anyway.
Yeah, bro, come on. But yeah, that match was so exciting. It had me like on my feet the entire time. And I'm hoping for something like that. It's a Euros finals. You have all these players who I watch every week. So all of them are playing. So I want to see the best shot that they can give. I want them to play with their hearts on the line. I feel like that is lacking in England. Spain are molded. They know what to go. They know the direction. England have no direction. I don't think even Southgate knows what the direction is, but I want all of them to wear their heart on their sleeves tonight and just put it all out there. When they're done, at least the England fans, they should be happy. Like, okay, you know what? They at least gave a good shot. It wasn't another lackluster halftime, let's go to bed performance. Not like that. Now, coming to Copa, I didn't follow much of Copa, but one team which I think, based on the highlights, I think one reason why a lot of people in India didn't watch Copa this time is because of the timings. Because it's very hard, because you're
Right.
staying up for Euros and then you have like 1 hour
You have to
sleep
get
and then
up
you have to
again.
wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, so uh, unless you get to decide your sleep routine, it's fine. But for people who can't do that, then they end up missing either one of the two tournaments, depending on which one they know better. uh, Uruguay, from what I saw, I felt like they were performing really well. They had like 5-0 victories, 4-0 victories, and all. And that's another team which I feel had a lot of great talents in them, individual talents. I didn't watch the game, so I want to know your opinion. But I again felt like, a lot of talents were there. Nothing might work out there, but they ended up getting the scores. So, how was Uruguay this entire Copa America?
I think Uruguay were probably the best team on paper and the way they played as well, right? They were absolutely brilliant. Like you said, the defense was solid. The attack was, they have some really young midfielders, Ugarte, Fede
Yeah.
Valverde, a really good team. And if apart from Brazil, I was expecting an Argentina Uruguay final only. But then, to be very honest, Argentina have been quite lackluster this tournament. Messi has not shown up. He's been injured for like half the time. So the team has just glided through, I would say, but just based off experience of winning, not because they've actually played like winners. Same thing like England, but a little bit better. Like they actually scored goals and won games and played
Yeah.
good football.
Yeah. Mm.
But I was thinking Uruguay because they were superb going forward, and their manager Marcelo Bielsa, he's a legend. Like so many people have taken inspiration from him. Pep is like Bielsa's like a student. Like he considers him his guru. So he had set them up beautifully. I do think like the 2026 World Cup, Uruguay will be a very very interesting, like what do you say, dark horse team, because they have a wonderfully young team. And if Nunes somehow starts finishing his chances, he misses a lot. He's an absolutely, he gets in the right position so many times, but he misses too many chances. And if he had taken even
Mm.
a few of them a few days back, they would have been in the final for sure. But Colombia are there, and they're on merit for sure. They've played
Mm-hmm.
some superb football, but of all the teams that I saw in the Copa, I would say Uruguay were the best team, just just purely based on on-field performances. But hey, that's
Okay.
just goes to show it doesn't matter if you're the best throughout. You have to be able to turn up on the day, finish your chances, make it count, right? You can't just say, "Oh, I dominated the ball for so long. I created 35 chances, so I'm the best team."
Yeah.
That other team created one chance, got the goal, and Colombia were down to 10 men in the semi-final, and
Yeah. Exactly.
not for 5-10 minutes, for like 65 minutes they were down to 10 men, and Uruguay, wave after wave, they just couldn't break through. I think one of the really interesting teams of Copa was Canada. They
Mm.
played some really good football. I mean, and they played like expectation free football, because nobody expects anything from Canada right now, right? But I think they played really well. They got to the semis as well. They fell short to Argentina's experience, but they actually created few chances against Argentina as well. Not few, they created quite a lot of chances.
Mm.
So it'll be interesting to see these teams going into the next World Cup, because I think the next World Cup is that expanded World Cup, right? Like there are
Yeah.
48
Yeah. Yeah.
teams like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there'll be a lot of dark horse teams that if they fall on the right side of the draw, right, they could make it a long way in the this thing,
Tournament.
because if
Yeah.
you have all your good teams, so-called good teams, fighting in one side, these dark horses can make it a long way. So I'm pretty sure that, and 2026 World Cup, probably, who do you say is the biggest star? Maybe Mbappe at that time,
Mm-hmm.
probably the biggest name at that point. Maybe Bellingham, maybe, but
Maybe
you don't
Lamal.
have like a clear, huh? Yeah,
Maybe
Yamal, but
Lamal.
Yamal is like, I mean,
I know. I know.
Yamal 3 World Cups from now will be into getting into his prime, bro. Like
His
I can't even
prime.
like fathom it.
Exactly.
3 World Cups from now, he'll be 25. Like that's not even a prime. Like that's like,
Yeah.
okay, he's still learning. What Mbappe is now, like 26, 27, he's gonna be 3 World Cups from now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, of course, I consider Yamal a star, but it's too early to say anything, even if he wins anything, because a lot of things have to go your way,
Mm.
right? That's why there's only one Messi, there's one Ronaldo. It's not just talent. If you see if every talented player became Messi, Ronaldo, then
Yeah.
it would be a different sport altogether. You need a lot of things to go your way. You need to stay injury free for that long, to play that long. Messi and Ronaldo, how they have faced some crazy career ending tackles, and if some of these guys faced even 50% of those tackles, right?
Mm.
Like if you go to YouTube and just see the compilation of the tackles that Messi and Ronaldo have faced, right? Career ending, absolutely
Yeah.
destructive tackles they have faced. And they're still standing. Like they just get up like nothing happened. So that's like, I don't know what you call it, like medical science, miracle, luck, whatever you want to call it, because people have been damaged a lot more for a lot less. So of course that injury history matters, how the team selection, the team has to play, your style of football as well. If you're asked to defend, for you can't be a Lamine Yamal and be asked to play like some park the bus football, right?
Yeah.
So a
Yeah. Yeah.
lot of things have to go in your way, but he's on the way there now for sure. But
Mm.
long way to go to say that he's a bona fide star. Although I feel he is, but
Mm.
long way to go. He's only 17. Like this, nothing has started for him. This is like he's playing pressure free. Like no one expects anything from him. I mean, now maybe today people will expect something from him, but you cannot generally expect a 16, 17-year-old to play, lead a nation completely. He
Yeah. Yeah.
can be the
Exactly.
fun guy, the interesting guy, exciting guy who comes, does a few step overs. You cannot depend on a 17-year-old to win you games single-handedly, even though he is. That is different that he is, but you cannot depend
Mm,
on it.
mm.
So I'm sure like the next World Cup, the next coming tournaments where there's no bona fide star. Because when say Argentina or say Portugal before Portugal, I really okay. I'm not a Ronaldo. I know. I mean, I'm not a Ronaldo fan, but even you would agree that Ronaldo's decline has been very much rapid compared to Messi's decline. And
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Ronaldo's teams just don't have that same fear factor and that that aura factor when they come into play. Like even now, if Argentina were to come into the field, you would be like, "Oh shit, okay, it's Argentina." Even if they have a shit team, because Messi still has that. I mean, used to have that. I mean, this Copa he was not that great anyway. But
Okay.
I just feel like when you don't have those superstars that a team can revolve around, any
Mm.
team can do anything on that day because there's no fear, right? There's like, oh, okay, fine, let's just go play, let's see what happens, and that's when the game opens up completely. So I'm sure like going forward, like teams like Uruguay, Colombia, uh, I think Georgia were really good this time as well.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
to what we were expecting of them, they have
yeah,
some good players. Turkey was superb. They also have a very young team, Arda Güler and all those guys.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
it's going to
Another
be
good one.
interesting to see all these. I mean, of course, the big teams will perform the way that we expect them to, but it's always the underdog story is always a fun thing, right? You always get behind the underdog. It's just human nature to feel something. Okay,
Exactly.
the underdog performing. So it's going to be interesting going forward for sure. Like seeing all these teams: Uruguay, Colombia, Canada, Turkey, etc.
Yeah, 26 will be a lot more interesting. I feel there's a lot of talent coming from every country, you know.
Right, right.
Previously, it wasn't like that. But now, when you look at their lineup, even if you don't think, okay, Turkey has this player or that player, or Georgia has this player, that player, when you look at the lineup, like, oh, you know what, it's them. I didn't know all of these players are from here. And okay, they're pretty balanced. I wouldn't, it wouldn't be such a big shout out to, say this team might end up in a round of 16 or a quarter or something. Anything can happen. That's the
I
fun.
just feel like I just feel like the youngsters coming now are like they have a lot on their hands and they're coming in very young to the big stage, right?
Yeah,
When we were 15, 16, 17 years old when we started watching football or when we were like in our initial stages, right? A wonder kid was
mm,
someone like 20 years old, 21 years
yeah,
old. You would
yeah,
consider that a wonder kid. Messi, when he won his Ballon d'Or at 23, people are like, oh, wonder kid, he's going to achieve great things. Now, wonder kid starts from 13 years old. People are signing
exactly.
13-year-old boys, 14-year-old boys.
Yeah,
I mean, at 15, 16, you're leading nations to the Euro Championship final. So the level of talent that is coming is different. It's a different stratosphere altogether. So, like that's going to be very interesting to see. Like if every team can produce two or three of such stars, then you
yeah,
you don't have a clear favorite.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
you've been saying Mbappe, you've been saying Haaland for the past few years. Just looking back, you've been saying Mbappe for like 4, 5, 6 years now, and
Mm,
he's just not hit the unbelievable or expected
correct.
heights of his this
Yeah.
thing, right? Even in the 2018 World Cup, he was good, but
Mm,
he was not the star. Like Griezmann was superb, Giroud was superb, Kante was unbelievable, Pogba was on a different level at that point. Mbappe was like an added factor to this. So you're not really saying, oh, Mbappe led France to a World Cup, right? Which is fine. He's won a World Cup. That's great, but he's not reached the heights. You would probably think by now he would have at least one or two Ballon d'Ors or
yeah,
something
yeah,
like something to
yeah.
show for himself. And he's just faltered everywhere
Mm,
and he's already 26, 27 now, and with 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds coming and performing at this level, you kind of wonder like what's going on with Mbappe or like how, or what will happen with Haaland, because Haaland also had a down season this time.
yeah,
30, 40 goals for Haaland is a down season only if expected. I mean, compared to what we expect from him. And if another younger kid, a 16-year-old scoring 20 goals, will always have more limelight than Haaland scoring 30 goals. Because Haaland is expected to score 30 goals. But a 16-year-old is not expected to score 20 goals, right?
yeah,
So there are a lot of factors, Arda Güler in Madrid and Turkey. He's 16 or 17. He's 18 probably. He's very young. So it's going to be for sure like interesting. And these guys will form the core team for a long time if they stay injury free. If you're
yeah,
starting at 16, almost 4, 5 World Cups, you can play easily. If you're injury free, of course.
yeah,
So 4, 5 World Cup period, like in the past, If you're playing 5 or 6 World Cups, you're considered to be like, oh my god, that's crazy longevity. But now you're expected to play 4 5 World Cups because you're starting at such a young age, and you're reaching that peak. So it's going to be interesting. I'm hoping, like, there'll multiple stars,
Yeah,
which I'm sure there will be. But if I was Mbappe or Haaland, I would be very worried because my career has not hit the heights. And I'm saying this even though they have hit such amazing heights.
I know,
I
I
would
know.
still be like, my career has not reached the height. Even now, this season, it's going to be Bellingham or Vinny Jr. for the Ballon d'Or. That's one
Yeah.
more season gone, right? Again, he has to start from scratch because nobody remembers what you did
Mm.
the previous season. Haaland, I don't know like what's going on with him. It's supposedly KDB is going to Saudi Arabia. So if you don't have the same kind of service, so yeah, I heard that the KDB has agreed personal terms with the Saudi Arabian club for some 900,000 a week deal because he doesn't want to like stay in New York City anymore. So
This is a joke. Are you
with,
serious?
without the same kind of supply, I don't know what Haaland will be because Haaland is a pure out and out number 9 box
Yeah,
striker.
yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
can't create anything for himself.
Mm,
So
mm,
that's how he is.
mm,
So it's going to be very interesting to see all these second, so to speak, second level stars and the so-called Bellingham, who Mbappe, Haaland, Vinny probably. These 4 5 guys who are bona fide superstars of the next generation, and to see how can they dominate that the next
mm.
era, like
Yeah,
how two
yeah,
people dominated the previous era.
yeah.
Even if not two people, but at least 2 or 3 guys being the people. You say Mbappe, Haaland, Bellingham, or Mbappe, Haaland, Vinny as the 3 guys who lead the next generation. But for that, they're gonna have to win trophies. They're gonna have to be the causative agent of winning those trophies as well. Because if you just see who people have won World Cup, anyone has won World Cup, man. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
not.
yeah.
I mean, so many people
I
have won
totally
World Cup.
agree.
The entire
Yeah,
squad
yeah.
wins a World Cup. Right?
Mm.
So you kind of start to wonder when that point comes where this guy leads a club or leads a country. It's going to be interesting for sure.
For sure. It's true. We expected so much from these two, right? You talk about how you talk about Mbappe and all. You just know that they're not there yet, Like we've been seeing them at this particular level for a while now, but the point was to always go better than this. This is why we've all been behind them, like, oh, at this age itself, they're doing so much. We expect them to do a lot better.
Right.
But with that age, that's not come.
But
Like
I'll tell you one thing. I also feel like we are spoilt by the two previous generation legends.
probably our
Like we are
expectations should
expecting like unholy statistics, unholy levels of
yeah.
greatness, which are it's not fair on them probably because no matter what they do, it's going to be like, hey, itna hi. Matlab, come on, man. You're
Yeah.
you're supposed to rival Messi, Ronaldo era. You're not supposed to be just some guy,
I
right?
know, but I think the difference is that so they didn't let it get into their head, or even if they did, they talked the talk and they walked the walk. Like Messi, he didn't talk much, he just walked the walk. But Ronaldo
Yeah,
had a big mouth. He used to talk the talk, but he used to walk the
yeah.
walk,
He
okay?
followed it up. Yeah,
Yeah, he followed up. So if he has, you can brag about yourself, or you can, if you have the things to back it up, no one's going to say anything about you. But I feel Mbappe hasn't, like it's only been talking a lot, getting a lot of money, doing this, doing that, but not having anything else to show for it. And for some reason, I feel Bellingham is falling down those lines as well. Okay, I didn't see much of him in this particular Euros, and
right,
for a moment, I was just like, what is he even doing on pitch? Like, why is he there? And is this the same guy who played so well for Madrid? And I don't want Bellingham to go down the same line. I don't want these youngsters to go down that same path. Haaland, it's crazy that a 30, 40 goal season, we are calling it an average Haaland season. That
yeah,
shows, that speaks a lot. But it's
right,
important that this dude actually stays relevant, stays, in that particular limelight. Because agreed, football is not the same as it used to be back then. You may not have those cut out 1 or 2 stars to
right.
take this era forward. It's probably not going to be like that. But I think where these kids need to really understand and not let fame get the better of their name is in these small things. Like I hope Lamine Yamal doesn't fall prey to
Right.
this limelight at such a young age, because he's still so young. He could easily get attracted by all of this glory and just go down the wrong path. Or it's very possible because he's a teenager. You
Right.
know how we were when we were 15, 16,
Exactly.
right? It's very possible because I remember when I was 15, 16, I would dream about scoring the winning goal for a World Cup,
Yeah.
and he's actually doing it. So then what does he have to look forward to after this, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly. When you achieve everything at 17, you're just like, I'm done. Like I don't have that, drive to go higher or do, because there is nothing higher. Like I've won the World Cup at 17 and I've been the causative factor. What's there? Even if
yeah.
I stop now, yeah, like you said, I think Bellingham is also like. I feel like I've never liked Bellingham's attitude right from the beginning.
Mm.
Maybe it's that Real Madrid connection. Maybe I just feel like, of course, great player, absolutely no doubt about it. But I just feel like again he needs to put his head down and be like, okay, fine, I've had a great season, but there's a long way to go. He's 20. He's what, 2021.
20,
Long way
yeah.
to go to be a certified superstar. So I just feel
Exactly.
like it's very important, like, to put your head down and go at it. And also, even if you're talking like Ronaldo, he backed it up for so many years. Everyone shut their mouth the moment he stopped performing.
Yeah.
His antics started looking like a crybaby, right? For the past 4 or 5 years, if you see Ronaldo, you associate him with like stupid, childish antics. He's
Mm.
crying in the middle of a game,
Yeah.
shouting at the same shouting that he was doing to players 10 years ago, right? You would be like, oh, this guy is motivating his players. This guy is unbelievable.
Passionate
Same
and
thing
this
he's
and that.
done now, because you need to back it up. If you're not going to back it up, then people will come after you, and that's fair. That's the sport, right? The same people who gave you the love for 10, 15 years, they have
Mm.
the right to take it back if they feel like you're not delivering what they expect from you,
Yeah.
which is completely fine. Same thing with Messi, same thing with Ronaldo. It will happen to everyone, but you need to back it up, or you need to like shut up and do the work. Simple as that. If you're
Yeah.
going to be a flamboyant, boisterous, yeah, I'm a winner, I'm this, I'm that, I'm a then you got to back it up. Then no one will say anything because you're day in day out being a legend. But the moment you stop that, no, then it's all going to come back to bite you, which is
Yeah.
which is exactly what happened for the past 4 5 years with Ronaldo, right?
Right.
Giving interviews and all that childish. I mean,
Mm.
let's not go into it, but all that kind of stuff. The same things that made him legend, like they made him such a relatable figure. Yeah, look at this
Yeah.
guy. He's so cool. He's so passionate. He's working so hard. Now it's just like, oh, dude, this guy is so cringe-inducing, man. Like, why is he doing such things? Like, I saw the Portugal game. He missed the penalty and he started crying in the middle
It's
of a
the
game.
time.
I just feel
Yeah.
like, dude, you have seen so much. You of all people should be the one saying, dude, it's okay. It's a penalty. Let's keep at it. So I just felt like if he had that passion, so-called passion that was coming out, right? It just looked like some childish babyish antics, and it was like I felt it would have been detrimental if I was a Ronaldo teammate at that point. I would be very demotivated. Like the person I'm looking up to, the person I'm asking to lead me to glory, is crying because he missed a penalty in the middle of a game. I would completely understand if it's a penalty shootout miss. Then obviously that's the end of it. You don't have a chance to like do anything about it. So all these small things now look so magnified because he's not. Of course, he can't. Like it's not like he's not trying to, but he can't. I just feel like he needs to get. I mean, come to terms with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, for sure, these youngsters, even if they're learning from Messi and Ronaldo, you either go the Messi way or you go the Ronaldo way, but you back it up the Ronaldo way. You
Yeah.
can't go the Ronaldo way and then play like, I don't know, some random player. Right? Then
Yeah.
you're gonna get slandered in the media for sure. Like who's that guy, dude? Anthony, the way he
Yeah.
behaves. Huh? All that looks and that same look if Ronaldo had given 15 years ago, right? You would be like, oh,
Yeah.
this guy's locked in. He's going to come and change the game. You see Anthony giving that, you're like, "Dude, he looks like a joker, right? Oh,
Yeah, he
what is
does.
this guy doing, right? So it's all perspective, and that perspective changes only when you perform.
Correct.
If you're coming on as a substitute and scoring a hat trick and winning the game, you give
Mm.
all the looks you want. I'll be like, oh, what a legend this guy is.
Yeah.
He's so locked in, right? So all these
Yeah.
things matter. So
Yeah.
I mean, definitely for sure, it's going to be interesting how these youngsters
Yeah.
take it all in, like because they're going to get fame at such a young age. They already have,
Yeah.
and I mean, let's see how these guys proceed in their careers. We're
True.
here for
True.
it.
Yeah. So, your scoreline prediction for both the games. I want to know about both the
Yeah, my
games.
final prediction is I want Spain to win. You want
Yeah.
scores as well?
Scores as well.
Mm. I do see England scoring 1 or 2 goals. 1 goal for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say 3-1 Spain.
Okay,
3-1 Spain
I'm gonna say
and
Spain winning
Argentina.
in penalties. Oh, no, man, you go, you go, you go. Yeah.
Argentina, Colombia. I'm gonna say, of course, because I'm an Argentine fan, I'm gonna say 3-1 for that game as well. Argentina. So 3-1 for both games. Spain
Okay.
and Argentina for win.
Right, right. I'm gonna say Spain. I want to say okay. Just was, you know what, England are gonna win this in penalties. It's gonna be
Penalties.
1-1, 1-1, and then England win in penalties. And there, I'm gonna say Colombia, a
Okay,
one
guys,
nil win.
mark this. We'll come back to this after tomorrow and see how these predictions have come into play.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
I mean, if Spain and Argentina win, the finalissima is going to be so much fun. Like it's going to be like
yeah,
Messi versus Yamal, and of course,
yeah.
Messi is completely past his prime, and Yamal is nowhere near his prime. But
Nowhere near his
just that
prime.
whole, that whole passing
Yeah,
of the baton kind of thing, like
I know,
Barcelona,
I know.
the Camp Nou empire is being passed on from Messi to Yamal. Like it'll be like a final. It'll be like a movie kind of crossing over, like where the one legend leaves and hands over the keys to the kingdom to the
Okay,
upcoming
enough.
superstar.
Too much hype. I cannot sit and listen to this.
Just imagine, will you even watch the finalissima if it's Argentina versus Spain?
Oh no, 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 no! I'll be busy that day.
But yeah,
Yeah.
dude, did you see the picture of Messi blessing Yamal?
Yeah, yeah. Did you also see the picture of Anthony blessing Yamal? And they're like, this
Yeah.
was the original picture.
But I saw that picture, I was like, okay, now I know like why Yamal plays like this. But
Ah,
it's
okay.
so crazy, right? Like just to see these things and be like
I know.
such simple. Of course, it might not have anything to do with it, but you just like it's just a feel good fairy tale kind of thing where a guy who's done everything is giving it all to someone who's probably going to do everything the way he
Yeah,
has and
yeah.
exactly the way he has, like the playing style. I mean, and so far, what I have seen, the same kind of what do you call behavior as well. Of course, Yamal is little bit more flamboyant compared to Messi. I would say
Hmm.
little bit, but that's
Hmm.
just how youngsters are this in this
Correct,
era.
correct. He's
You
16.
can't
Yeah.
compare youngsters in 1990s and 2000s to youngsters of 2020s. So
Correct, correct.
I feel amongst the youngsters that are there now, he's very like in that messy personality types, very
Hmm.
But again, too early to say anything at all. Maybe 5 years down the line also will be too early only. The way
Hmm.
I mean, the age he
Yeah,
is at. But I guess one more or two more seasons of club football and maybe one World Cup later, we'll actually know like where he's
exactly.
headed.
5 years from now, like you said, 5 years from now, if we are still able to talk about Yamal the same way we're talking about him now, then yes,
Yeah,
then we can start to, But yes, I agree.
that's what.
It feels like he's that chosen one. It's like that picture. It
Yeah,
was actually, if I was a Messi fan or a Barca fan, I would have been so happy
right.
with that.
Totally. I was
Wow, I
just
would
like,
have been
oh
so
wow,
happy.
man, this guy is
Yeah,
here. He's here. That
yeah.
jersey number is being taken now. I mean,
No.
with our previous thing, we were too like premature. We gave the jersey to Ansu Fati, and it didn't turn out very well for us till now.
Yeah,
So like, we have to be cautious giving over that jersey. But right now, it just feels like that feel good factor is there. Like it feels like he's
I
the
know.
chosen one. It feels like he's
Hmm.
going down that path where he's ready to take over that jersey. But to give that jersey is a long, long way away to like, not only just giving the jersey, but to actually accepting that that jersey belongs there. It's going to take
Yeah,
at least 5 years of, him
exactly.
playing the way he is to say that, okay, that jersey is deserved for him.
It's going to be the such a huge responsibility, like the hugest responsibility in football.
Yeah.
Filling up those particular shoes. It's
Yeah. That jersey is like probably the biggest jersey in
yeah,
football
exactly.
history.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
and there's all these things that are just falling in. Like we are moving to a new Camp Nou next season. We were in
Mm,
this season,
Monjoy,
and
yeah.
this season will be Yamal's like first senior season,
Mm,
and he's coming off a Euro, maybe a Euro win, a Euro
mm,
MVP. He's just like he's at the press. He's just there. Like it just feels like if you were a Barca fan, you can't help but feel optimistic that it's set up for that
yeah,
particular way to that finalissima is set up because if Spain win and Argentina win, the finalissima is a setup between Messi and Yamal. You just start seeing things. You're like, okay, can this guy give us take us back to the promised land kind of thing. Because it's been a while since we've been there, right? As a
Yeah.
club. So you just hope and start to wonder where this guy is going. Will he be the one? But again, long way to go. But I'm here for it.
Yeah. Guys, to all of you who are watching this, if any of you know anybody who knows Lamin Yamal, please make him watch this video. Okay. If I was Lamin Yamal, I would be so inspired by watching this video. So please do your bit
Absolutely.
in spreading this video to Spain.
Yes.
Yeah. So
So I guess with that we can wind up. Eh?
yes, we can wind up super hyped. If I wasn't already, I'm just on three
It's gonna
times
be
as
another
excited.
level for sure.
Yeah. So we'll see. I have a feeling your predictions will come true, but I hope mine come
Oh,
true.
here we go with the jinxing again. Started, huh?
I mean,
But
we are
yeah,
1 month away
3-1
from.
both games, and you're saying, wait, I didn't hear your Copa prediction.
Oh, I'll say a 1-0 victory to Copa in regular time.
To
See,
which
to
team?
Colombia. To Colombia,
Colombia.
sorry.
Okay. To Copa.
Don't ask which
Colombia.
team, it's very obvious.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, fair enough.
always,
If it
yeah,
was
it's
Argentina versus Jamaica, also you would probably say 1-0.
Bangladesh. Yeah. All right. So we'll be back with another one where we discuss whether Ashwin was right or I was right. And also, yeah, I think you'll be putting up a poll, right? Talking about which. So
Yes.
we'll see.
Please
We'll see
do
the
check out
results
our
of
Insta
those.
page
Yeah,
and give
we
us
hope
your
that
opinions as to what the predictions and what you guys think, which team will win the finals.
exactly. Let's hope the majority is to Team Avinash on this one. Okay. Anyway, so all the best. Let's not take any more time. See you. Uh, all the best for your games, bro. I know
Thank
there's a lot more for you on these two games than me, but anyway, let's hope both are like super interesting games. And
Will you watch the Copa final or not?
I want to, so I'll plan my sleep accordingly. Like, actually want to. I actually want to.
12:30 to 2:30 Euros. 5:30 is the Copa finals. Let's hope
12:30
the
to
Euros at
2:30
least doesn't
euros.
go to
It'll
extra
go.
time.
Yeah. Worst case, man. It's okay. We'll see. We'll figure it out. It's all right. It's worth it, man. These days don't come very
It's
often,
just
all right?
one
So
day. I mean, it's a big
yeah.
day. And,
Exactly. So anyway,
there's a
let's hope for
Wimbledon
the
final
best.
also in the evening, so that's also
That
there.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's another entire thing altogether. Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway,
Lot to
so
look forward to. Super
a lot
Sunday.
to look forward to. So yes. Anyway, all the best to you for both the games.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we'll be back with another episode with our
For
results
sure.
and everything. So we'll see you guys on that one. Till then, take care, relax. Please subscribe, like, share, and everything that you've all been doing for so long. Thank you
Thank you for the
guys.
support, guys. Thank you for the understanding. I know we were not here for a bit. We just had a few things going on, but we're back now, and I'm hoping, and we're hoping that we're gonna have like a few really good episodes lined up for you guys. So do check out our Insta page, our X page as well, and keep stay engaged with us.
Yeah. Thank you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.